Imagine uniting dozens of Native American tribes, all with different languages, customs, and rivalries, into a single confederation, then standing toe-to-toe with the growing power of the United States. Most said it was impossible. One man dared to try. Stay with us as we uncover the story of Tecumseh, the Shawnee warrior who challenged expansion, inspired a nation, and came closer than anyone else to changing the fate of the American frontier. This is Undercover History Updates, and today we dive into the extraordinary life of a leader history almost erased. Tecumseh was born in 1768 in present-day Ohio. During a time of violent upheaval, British colonists were pushing west, and native tribes were being forced off their ancestral lands. His name, often translated as Shooting Star or Panther Across the Sky, was prophetic. From a young age, Tecumseh witnessed brutal conflict. His father died fighting colonial forces, and his older brother was killed in battle. These losses shaped his resolve. Unlike many war chiefs of the time, Tecumseh believed violence should never be random or petty. He envisioned a united native front to resist the creeping tide of American expansion. Tecumseh's genius wasn't just in battle, it was in diplomacy. While other leaders defended their individual territories, Tecumseh dreamed of a pan-Indian alliance. He traveled thousands of miles by foot, canoe, and horseback to reach out to other tribes. From the Great Lakes to the Gulf of Mexico, he urged unity. "We must all unite," he said, "or fall one by one." Tecumseh argued that no tribe had the right to sell land, it belonged to all native people. This was radical thinking. It challenged not only U.S. land deals, but also internal tribal politics. Tecumseh's movement was given spiritual weight by his younger brother, Tenskwatawa, known as the Prophet. After a series of visions, Tenskwatawa preached a return to native traditions. No more alcohol, no more European goods, no more treaties. He claimed the Great Spirit had shown him that native people must purify themselves to survive. Tecumseh gave this spiritual revival a political edge. The Prophet stirred hearts, and Tecumseh organized warriors. Their base became Prophetstown in present-day Indiana, a growing village that became the center of native resistance. In 1811, while Tecumseh was away recruiting tribes in the South, U.S. forces led by William Henry Harrison marched on Prophetstown. Tenskwatawa, ignoring Tecumseh's warnings to avoid conflict, ordered a surprise attack. The Battle of Tippecanoe was brutal. Though technically a draw, the village was burned and the movement took a serious hit. U.S. newspapers called it a great victory, and Tecumseh's Confederacy was labeled a threat to national security. But Tecumseh didn't give up. He returned to find Prophetstown destroyed, but his resolve hardened. When war broke out between the U.S. and Britain in 1812, Tecumseh saw opportunity. He allied with the British, hoping that a U.S. defeat would stop westward expansion. Tecumseh became a brigadier general in the British Army, the only Native American to hold such a rank. His leadership was unmatched. British officers praised his discipline and vision. He helped capture Detroit without firing a shot, using psychological tactics and deception. But as the war dragged on, British support waned. They began prioritizing their own losses over native alliances. In 1813, at the Battle of the Thames, Tecumseh faced his final fight. The British retreated, and Tecumseh and his warriors were left to stand alone. He fought fiercely, but was killed in battle. His body was never definitively found, adding to the mystique. With his death, the native resistance in the East collapsed. The dream of a united native nation died with him, and yet, Tecumseh's legend grew. Even his enemies respected him. William Henry Harrison, who later became U.S. president, called him one of those uncommon geniuses which spring up occasionally to produce revolutions. Today, Tecumseh is remembered not just as a warrior, but as a visionary. He saw a future where native people could resist, unite, and endure. He wasn't motivated by conquest or revenge, but by justice and survival. His legacy lives on in countless schools, towns, and parks named after him. But more importantly, it lives in the continuing struggle of Indigenous people to protect their land, rights, and culture. He proved that a single voice, grounded in purpose and honor, could echo across centuries. Tecumseh's story isn't just about native history, it's about resistance, vision, and what it means to fight for your people. He may not have won on the battlefield, but his ideas, unity, sovereignty, dignity still resonate today. If this glimpse into forgotten heroism inspired you, like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell. There's more history they didn't teach you in school coming your way. This has been Undercover History Updates. Stay curious.